My name is Michael Szarz, and I am so excited to be your moderator for this session on financial health infrastructure. I can't believe they put me in charge. So for today's panel, we have a really good, diverse group of companies with unique approaches to financial health, and I think there'll be something interesting and relevant for everyone. So we'll kick it off with some quick introductions. Again, my name is Michael Szarz. I'm with Regions Bank, $150 billion consumer bank headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama. We have 1,300 branches in 15 states, but mostly concentrated in the Deep South. Now for our panelists, we'll start with Tracy.
Hi, my name is Tracy Szarz-Fors, and I'm with Wright-Patt Credit Union. We are located in Beaver Creek, Ohio, which is the Dayton area, and our asset size is about $6.5 billion.
And Shishir?
Thank you, Michael, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shishir Singhania, and I'm the Chief Lending Officer for Varo Bank. We are a digital bank based out of San Francisco, and what that means is we don't have any branches, and we deliver our products to our customers through our app. Our bank is powered by a very nimble and cloud-based technology stack. And in August 2020, Varo became the first fintech in the country to be given a national banking charter by a regulator, the OCC.
Excellent. And last, Eddie.
Hey, thank you, Michael, and hi, everyone. So Eddie Queen, I head up financial health engagement platform for Wells Fargo. So hopefully you all know the bank.
Little community bank. All right, well, let's start off with each of you sharing a little bit about how your company is organized around financial health. Like, why did you choose that structure? How does that work for you? Maybe what some of the challenges are related to that. Why don't we go in reverse order? We'll start with Eddie.
Sure. All righty. So today, for my title, right, we do have a centralized group focused on financial health. And think of it as our mandate is to develop and maintain engaging experiences that are data-driven and that help customers improve their financial health, right, through guidance, through personal guidance. So you can think of it as almost kind of a layer above products and cutting across channels, right, mobile, digital, branch, call center. And think of this as like, think about the jobs to be done, the stuff that people are actually trying to get done when they manage their finances, you know, whether it's managing their spend or building an emergency fund or paying down debt. So those are the experiences that we are focusing on, starting to invest, buying a home, retiring, etc. Now, how do we get here? Because this is reasonably new to Wells Fargo. We had tried historically a more decentralized model. And I think not very surprisingly, to a large organization like ours, we ended up with siloed solutions, right, that were either very channel specific or very product specific. And we were lacking a cohesive strategy with a clear set of priorities, with a consistent approach. And that's what brought us here. That's what kind of led the bank to decide to create a central team. And we've been doing that for about a year and a half now. So it's recent. It's not that, you know, it's not that old yet. We also have a head of financial health in our philanthropy arm, which is a whole different ballgame, right, in our foundation and how we engage our communities and how we help them with financial health. So there are needs from a legal standpoint to keep something separate. So that's why we have that as well. Now, it would be naive to think that by centralizing financial health that everything related to financial health happens centrally. That's not the case, right? You know, we're a bank and we help people every day. So that's the reality is there are things that smell, feel, and taste like financial health that are also being done by the digital team, by the product teams, and we collaborate with them. So I think just kind of sum it up in terms of the pros and cons, what this current structure gives us is that focus that we were lacking historically, that consistency and strategy, approach, and priorities. And we're starting to kind of harvest some of the benefits of that. The challenge is that you also have to continue to influence through, especially on financial product design, right? We don't have authority over that. That's still with the lines of business, with product groups. So when it comes to designing products, not just the guidance layer, but products that actually, have embedded in them the principles around financial health. That's still relying on an influence and collaboration. It's not something that can be centralized. So hopefully that helps.
No, that's great. Excellent. Shishir, we'll go to you.
Thank you, Michael. So I think we are a little bit different. We don't have a unique set of team focused on financial health. Financial health is just in our DNA, and it's the primary motivators for most people who work at Varo, starting from a CEO down. So, if you think of Varo, our stated mission is to advance financial inclusion and opportunity for all customers, right? And this mission is integrated into everything we do. It is in our product development process. It's in how we service our customers. It's in how we build our brand creatives and how we build out our experience design. It's in how we price our products, everything, right? As we do that, we very closely also track customer feedback from all different types of customers. And most of our customers are very enthusiastic about Varo. They tell us what they feel. They tell us the pain points that they're feeling. And this is a very strong voice as we are building new experiences and building new products, right? It was interesting. There is a customer who had uploaded a rap video about Varo last month, and it's on our Instagram page. You should check it out. But we, in addition to financial health, we are also investing in what we call our impact platform, where we have our Varo investor and our impact advisor, Russell Westbrook, helping us do that as we kind of grow and scale from here.
All right. And then Tracy.
Thank you, Michael. So I think ours has been sort of an evolution. We've been doing this since about 2015, 2016. And it started with, let's just do the health score and do a gap analysis. And from there, we'll put a plan together and we'll have a small committee. From there, it morphed into, it's part of the strategic plan. From there, it morphed into our culture book and awareness campaigns and so forth. So how I see it broke down here at our credit union, it's about more, there's a people portion, a planning portion, products and services, and then data. So a lot of it comes through having something that we can all talk about and focus on. So we have a 3-year marketing plan and map, and it doesn't just include what marketing wants to do or what financial education, I actually call it financial learning, what they want to do or what community development wants to do. It's very comprehensive. And we all have what I'd like to say, some skin in the game. But I think what's most important when you look at these steering committees and these projects is that you have to get the buy-in and you also have to break down those silos. And I think Eddie had mentioned that. The data helps with that. And we actually are working on a financial wellness dashboard right now. And all of the data that we have is told just a wonderful story. And so when you have that, you have the ability to influence others in the organization. So we don't have someone with the title. Basically, we've integrated it and woven it into the DNA of the credit union, and we have conversations. Do you have a champion, which would probably be me, myself, and then several other folks on my team, and now also in learning and development, which is huge. So, but data will lead you down a good path to help people understand what can be done and where we're at.
Yeah. And I'll share just a little bit about my experience at Regions. We have also been doing financial health probably since about 2015. We started off with just email surveys. That was our initial foray. And like Tracy said, looking at customer responses, seeing how people engaged with that survey and where some of the gaps were. Then we integrated it into our financial education content. So it was a way to help drive people to appropriate financial education content instead of just here's a library. And then last year, as part of a rebranding of our account recommendation tool and our guided discovery goal setting tool, I was involved in that process and suggested we layer in the financial health questions. And so we have felt like our strategic competitive advantage is our interactions with our bankers. So by putting all these tools together into a branded experience that we call Greenprint, and we talk about that externally, come in and get a Greenprint, whether you're opening a new account, whether you're an existing customer, and that financial health score now is part of every customer interaction. So some of the things I'm hearing folks talk about from a product standpoint and a community development standpoint, I think those are on the roadmap, but right now the structure for us is very much an associate customer engagement tool is how we're using the financial health score and orienting around financial health. So I wanted to follow up on the first question just with some, get some information from you all about like where would you say you've seen the greatest impact on the organization? Like what's been the biggest change in the way y'all operate? And so maybe to start this one with Shishir.
Sure. I think, Michael, again, it's just, on the same lines. The way we think of financial inclusion and health at Varo is just a part of our DNA. So every product and everything that we are building has that from the onset, right? And for us, I'll give you an example. So we're building a product which is around delivering a secured card for our consumers. And what we heard our consumers say that the current secured cards that are out there need a customer to put in a deposit before they can get access to the card. And that's difficult. That's difficult for a large set of customers who don't have $500 or $1,000 to lock away in a card, right? But they still value a secured card because that's the way that they can start building a credit history and get access to more financial products, over time. So our team went back and designed a secured card where a customer does not need to put the deposit in upfront, or where the amount of deposit can vary based on the needs of a customer and the spending patterns that they have. So it's all about ensuring we build products from a ground up, trying to address the customer problem, and not being anchored to how they are built right now. So that way the products are built in a way that's very inclusive. And to the point of how do we manage it, because it's in our DNA, and I can't tell you how many times. It can be in our executive team meetings, or it can be working with our product managers or designers or analysts when we are building out products or thinking about how it would work. Our associates call out and ask the question, does this product work for all? Is this a product that we are thinking of all of our customers, not just a subset of our customers as you're building it? So this is just a DNA that we are building into Varo as we are building Varo and scaling up. And it's been great to see that come to fruition as we build and launch products in the market.
Yeah, it's a fascinating perspective coming from a startup where it's being built in to the foundation of everything, not so much a transformation. So Tracy, do you have any thoughts or anything you want to add on impact or change to operations?
Yeah, so some of it's just changed the thought, right? I mean, our mission is to help people through life. And so we have always sort of had that way of thinking. But then when the term financial health and wellness came aboard, and now financial well-being, it's like, okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. And so I think two big evolutions that have happened is it's moved from, what Tracy's working on, to people being able to articulate it now, because we actually call it financial flexibility and freedom, and we have the pillars underneath it, and they can articulate that. The other thing that I think has been interesting for us is we put personas together based on the financial health and wellness, and we have 5 of them, and we took that information and we put it over the data that we have. And that has given us so much information. It's given us an opportunity to really put strategy together around each of these groups of members, which is now morphing into developing a more robust training component. And then lastly, I would just say that the conversation that's been taking place, and I think we have a good handle on it now, is do you lead with service excellence and that leads to financial well-being, or do you start with financial well-being and service excellence is just part of the process? It's probably a combination of the two is what we've come to the conclusion. But in essence, if we can develop problem solvers around financial flexibility and freedom, that service excellence is going to go an awful long way. So that's where I would say right now the areas of impact that we've seen.
That's great. I've always been impressed with your work at Wright-Patt, with the depth that you bring, your associates bring when they interact, the stories you've told about talking to members. I envy that a little bit, right? That you can really get in deep with some of the stuff that you do and make a big impact quickly. So now on the other extreme, we have Eddie with that little bitty community bank, Wells Fargo. So how and you're in a titled role around financial health. So what I'm curious, like even just having your position, like what's been the impact on the organization, and how do you think that changes the way things operate?
I think the first thing is a little related to what Tracy was just saying, to be honest. And for us, this embracing this idea of what are the jobs to be done what are the things that people are really struggling with and they need help? Because a lot of this is about how we make it tangible for people and for the leaders, right? Because there was a lot of conversation in the past about financial health, but I think the business probably failed to define clearly what can we do to help and what's the best way to do it. And once you start defining the problem very clearly for people, and these are the things that people are struggling with, and here's how we can do to help, that makes a huge difference. And what you see is people falling in line, and everybody kind of supportive of let's go, let's do it. So I feel like shaping this thing is super important because it can very easily become amorphous, and then people lose interest. So you have to define it clearly. And you have to have a customer and a business-centric view. You have to kind of have the business case to support it, and you have to demonstrate that you can kind of add value to customers. So on the customer side, and I think in this conference here, JD Power is going to share some stuff, but I think we know any time that we demonstrate to people that we care about their financial health and well-being, you will see a result in NPS, in loyalty, however you measure it, right? So that's a no-brainer. The harder part that we're starting to spend more time on is, can you demonstrate that you are actually helping move the needle to the customer? Now, true kind of experimentation and incrementality kind of measurement to see, can we really make a difference? And even Common Sense Lab, I think from a couple of years ago in their report, they say that 50% of their experiments, which are super well designed, don't yield any results. Right, for customers. So I think that's the challenge that we have as an industry, is like, can we actually help people and demonstrate that? But on the business side, I feel like the defining things clearly and having a plan and demonstrating how you can actually bring this vision to life is the thing that makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, I like that if you just talk about it, it can be amorphous and just this sort of nebulous thing out there. I'll share a bit about my experience, and then if we have some questions from the audience, I think we have about 5 minutes left. But what I think, as this has been more layered into everything we do, you see other parts of the bank, I don't want to say jump on the train, but realize the value in it. So having the answers to the financial health questions, well, how does marketing use that data to better target messaging, right? How is that going to get integrated into digital banking or product development, or even for a banker, if someone answers a question that they pay some of their bills on time, well, what's it going to take to move you to most and then all of your bills on time? And that's where you get into a deeper dive and a better conversation with people. And I think the bankers really embrace that rather than,
that's
hey,
really the job to be done.
Yeah.
That's really that's what we need to help people to do, right? That's the real thing. So
it's been, for me, I've enjoyed going on this journey and seeing like how it gets integrated into what we do. And Greenprint was a huge leap forward, and I had no idea that was coming. I've always shared that, I threw a lot of spaghetti at the wall until I saw something that stuck. So we were lucky. But do we have any question? Oh, sorry, Tracy.
Well, you said journey, and I was going to mention that to everybody that's listening. This is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight, and you're going to learn a lot along the way. It's just like when they talk about mapping, If you're using a map, typically it means it's going to take a while for you to get to your destination. So just plan on that at the very beginning. It is not a snap of the finger.
Yeah, I think just one other thing I would love to add. I think, yes, it's a journey, and yes, but I feel like there's so much out there that we can do to help our customers on this journey. And and I think we need to really pick the things that will have a huge impact versus picking things on the margin that will help our customer. And that is true for our entire industry. There's so much we can do, and it is great to see, so many different companies, so many different types of companies trying to make an impact over here.
So we do have a question that came in that is, have any of you had to invest in technology or data capabilities? And I'll share just a quick, my experience. Greenprint answers a lot of questions and gets a lot of data, and there's a lot of forms and processes to fill out to get data from that into the data lake where people can access it and retrieve it and use it. That's not something that I was familiar for, so that I would say investing in capabilities, but just getting resources aligned to, okay, now that we've got all this information, we need to be able to start using it and make sure that we have access to it.
Yeah, I think that's, go ahead, Tracy.
I was just going to say, for us, it's more resources. It's more the people. How can we get the resources to use what it is that we currently have? The health score, I'm not sure if I would consider that new technology, though it's a great tool. And we have done some pilots with some fintechs out there. I think that experiment is very good too. And then I'll just pass that out to Shishir.
Yeah, thank you. I think the thing I would say is it's important to have your technology stack built in a way that's nimble and efficient, because that allows you, because as you learn more about the customers, you understand where the need is. It allows you to build fast and build in a way that's flexible, because it's a very fast evolving area.
Yeah, data and technology is like 85% of our time every day. And we actually happen to roll up to a group that's called Consumer Data and Engagement Platforms. So that's not by chance. To Tracy's point, it's a lot about truly knowing your customers through data and using that to help them with personalized guidance.
All right. Well, we are we're coming up on the end, so I'll ask any final thoughts, final comments. All right. Well, I'm getting the time to wrap signal, so I want to thank our awesome panelists. I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I did, and enjoy the rest of your time here at Emerge. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Enjoy.